Sid from Zeguro. He's a co-founder and CEO of Zeguro. Sid, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Yep. So I am Bobbie's favorite.
Stop there.
There's no competing against that. So I'm Sid Governani. I'm the CEO of Zeguro, a cybersecurity nerd for about 20 years now. And now with Zeguro, we are helping small and medium-sized companies with their cybersecurity and cyber insurance. So we're both a cybersecurity and an insurance company.
They help Ben Akiva, by the way.
Yes, Ben Akiva is one of our favorite customers.
You have to say that now.
That is very true. Without fail.
Bobbie says that, you kind of have to say too.
I brought a special prop today.
Yes, awesome.
Boom.
Perfect.
I'm jealous. Where's my Zeguro mask?
Yeah, you should have received at least 2.
Yeah, I got 2.
Brent did not share it with you, Bobbie.
Okay, I'm gonna send you my address. I'm jealous. I'm jealous now.
I thought those 2 were for me. I put one in the car. One.
No, you can have them. Sid will send me a separate package full of other goodies. So Nick and Brent, do you guys want to do a quick intro?
Right. Hey everyone, Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Ben Akiva.
Nick Lamparelli, Chief Underwriting Officer for Rethought, and now podcaster at the Yellow Book Road, coming out this weekend.
Nice.
Cannot wait. Who's your first guest?
Branch Insurance, Steve Lekes and Joe Emerson.
Very cool. Very cool. So to start off with our Happy Friday stories, we share positive, happy stories of the week, whether that's gratitude, whether that's personal, work-related. And Sid, since you're our guest of honor, we would love for you to go first.
So as I was mentioning earlier, life is full of happy stories. So I think I have a couple of them. One is work-related. We have an outstanding new marketing lead who started with us. And Louis, excited about him being part of the team. Personally, early this week, time flies by. Early this week, we went out to dinner, which is amazing.
It was weird, wasn't
it? Yep. Had some wine, had some steak. Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, it still feels weird to go up to dinner. You have your mask as you walk through, and you take your mask off, and it's like, oh, someone's going to cook for you? Oh, someone's going to clean up after you?
Yep, because the last year has felt like it's a never-ending cleaning session.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
I still have yet to do that deed. I'm being very extra cautious, but I'm hoping to join that. That will be my happy story once I do that. Thanks, Sid. So who would like to go next?
Right.
Yeah, I can go next. Mine's very simple this week. Couple things, both personal. As you may or may not know, I live in Iowa, and the last couple of weeks it's been extremely cold. I mean, we've had negative 14 degrees actual temperature, and then when you throw in, a 20-mile-an-hour wind on top of that, it feels like a negative 37 degrees. I mean, it's literally, you walk outside and it takes your breath away. It's so cold. And we usually have those when we have our bad winters. We'll usually have a couple weeks stint of really, really cold weather, and we did this year. And so yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I had no clue. I actually thought a snowstorm was coming, and all of a sudden I look outside and it looks pretty sunny, and I was, where is that snowstorm? And I, of course, asked Alexia about the weather, and the snowstorm had detoured and missed us, and we had 50-degree weather. And I was like, holy crap, we're looking outside, I'm seeing kids ride bikes. And I'm like, wow.
And you're like, I'm going to go golfing.
I wish. There's so much snow on the ground. But if there wouldn't have been snow on the ground, it'd have been like, wow, I don't feel very good. I got to move some meetings around. The second part is, as you know, the followers know, we've kind of been on this this fitness process, and so this week I finally broke down, and you guys have probably seen the commercials of Noom, right, where they talk about weight loss, not necessarily needing to change your eating habits, but more about the psychology of why you eat and why you do what you do. And so anyway, I was talking to a friend earlier this week, and he was explaining how he tried this Noom, and he'd only been on it like a couple weeks, and he was already down 14 pounds. And he said he hadn't changed anything he ate. It's just more about psychology and learning about, you know, when to eat and why you want to eat and what triggers you and all those different things. And he was just raving about it. And I was, okay, well, what is it? And he said, Noom. And I said, wow, I see the commercials all the time, and I've thought about trying it. But, you know, and one time I even went, you know, after I saw the commercial, I went through the process. And then, of course, I got to the part where it says, you know, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. And I said, nah, whatever, and skipped. But so I finally took the leap and went through the entire process and started that this week. So I'll keep you posted on what I feel about that.
Awesome. Awesome, Brent.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah.
My things are fairly quick as well. One is that so I got my 45-pound weight in my rucksack, and I've been using it pretty religiously, at least once a day for 30 minutes going on a walk. You can definitely notice the difference. I've tried to take some company calls outside with the rucksack, and they're like, Nick, you're breathing heavy. So you notice the difference, and it's hard to like keep upright. So it's also like a core strengthener. But the happy part of that is mostly I had to bend over and pick something. So I kind of squatted down, picked something up. And in the past, I would have gotten stuck, and I'd have to like reach up and like kind of help myself up. But no, my legs were really strong. Like I just squatted myself back up, no problem, no knee problems. So I get my fingers crossed that this could be like a really good way for me to get aerobic and strength exercising in my core and in my legs. So that makes me happy. And then Brent and I shared some text messages yesterday. So both he and I made some big bets on some life insurance companies on the stocks last year during COVID. And you know, it's good news when you're trying to figure out, should I sell because they're up so much? Like, should I lock some in? And I can't help but to have a smile on my face because you know, Brent, I did lock in some profits on it, but knowing that there are companies like yours out there, I'm tempted to hold on because I feel like even though for some of these big life insurance companies that are incumbent dinosaurs, that there's so much technology that's coming in that there might actually be a bit of a growth story for them here. You know, there might actually be, because of companies like yours, that they can reduce overhead, that they can actually streamline some stuff. It's probably too much to ask for them to be, you know, Google-ish. But I feel really good that it's like I might be able to hold on to these things like and fund my retirement with them. I got in at the right time, and man, the story just is really good. And as a contrarian value investor, this might be like the trade of my life to get in when I got in and just be able to ride that surf wave all the way into shore. So those are my two stories.
It's funny you mentioned that because you know, when I sent you that text, you know, it's never sell everything type scenario. It's, when I was actually doing the financial advisory practice and giving advice on these things as a way to make my living, I always used to tell people, stocks go up and down, up and down, up and down. They constantly do. So it's not about, trying to figure out or time the market, because there are, true professionals, Warren Buffett being one of them, that cannot time the market. So, the thought process is, if the richest man in the world can't time the market, then how do we on this call expect to be able to time the market, right? So it's about figuring out, when I can get in and when I can get out. And when I sent the text of, hey, today's the day to take some profits off the table, typically what I do is, if I invest $10,000 and I buy so many shares at $10,000 because it's really low, then mentally what I do is I say, okay, when that stock hits the 52-week high, whatever profits I've made, I'm going to sell just enough of the stock to bank the profit. So I still have my original $10,000 invested, right? But now I've taken that extra profit and put it in my pocket, as opposed to when the stock goes down, all of a sudden I'm back to square one. So it's literally about, watching the 52-week highs and 52-week lows and figuring out, okay, so immediately late yesterday, when I sent that text to you, Nick, I pocketed some profits, but immediately I set alerts to say, okay, when this stock drops below this point, send me a text message again, because that's when I'm going to take those profits, turn around and go in and buy more, right? So Apple's a perfect example. I've owned Apple for years and years, but I never hold the stock. I buy it, ride it up till it gets profitable, swipe some profits off. Once it comes back down again, I take those profits and I buy some more, and then I ride it up again. And that's how you compound wealth. That's how you compound, the return on investment. Don't get me wrong, the buy and hold strategy is good for a lot of folks. If you don't have the time to watch 52-week highs and lows and, set alerts and things like that, then don't. That's not your gig, right? Go ahead and buy a stock at a good price and hold on to it. But if you can, take I would say, 15 minutes out of your day and learn, to be adamant about going in and looking at, where is my portfolio? Where are my stocks? You will multiply your money a lot faster.
Yeah. You'll like this, Brent. So I closed out my Apple position. So I've held it for years, been doing what you've been saying, like letting a little bit out, and it never goes back down. So finally I had 30 shares left, and I'm just riding it. Mm-hmm. But at this stage, it's just I don't think there's much left on the upside. So I sold it. It felt good. But then on the life insurance side, I bought when Prudential was at 50. I bought the January 2022 call options at 100, and I got 5 of them for $125 each. And after your text, I went and checked, because Prudential's been going way up. Each of those call options were at $600 and something dollars. They went from 125 to 600 and something. So I sold one, and I'm now I can just ride the whole thing. I've already made money on this. I can't lose on it. So I did pull a little bit off the table. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I haven't been, I watch the stock market like crazy, but I don't do what you're saying, Brent. I think I need to start. Can I be on your alert list? Because I bought a lot of life insurance company stocks last year, and I've been debating when to sell. I like that. I think I'm going to start incorporating that.
Yep, I stopped doing stock.
I did it for a living.
Yeah, I stopped doing stock a long time ago, because many times, every time I would invest in something, it would immediately go down. I was like, really? Is that what I do to the stock market? Sure.
Yeah, it knew, Sid. Bids in. Everybody sell.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick a bunch of stocks. I want you to go in and buy them, and let me know when you buy
Exactly.
them.
Brent can be like our personal advisor, because I've learned a lot from Brent. Like when you guys had that conversation, I was like, I told Brent, I said, I think I'm going to do the same.
Yeah.
And I did the same, but I haven't sold. I didn't do any of the selling yet.
Well,
Now the stock market.
it's paid off for you.
Yeah.
You know? I put, so this was, I was so confident in what was happening last year. I still am, that I told my sister, who's nearing retirement, and my wife, and it was like, I'm shifting you over. I'm putting you into these. And my sister will occasionally come back. She's like, what do I do now? I said, you don't do anything. You know, you got into Unum when it had an 8% dividend. Just ride it, right? Like that dividend's going to go up every year. You know, that's going to pay for your retirement. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
I bought Unum at the wrong time. It was already high when I bought it, and now
It's higher
just
now.
back down. Now it's going up.
It's had a nice couple weeks.
Yeah.
So,
But even on stocks like that, I mean, you don't necessarily have to watch the ups and downs. If it has a good dividend and it's a financially strong company, heck, there's a lot of people that love the 8%.
it's my number one. It's my number one play. Big dividend, cheap. Like to every possible financial metric, it's cheap. It's still, even after its big move that it's had over the past year, it's still selling for 1/3 of book value, which means the company could go out of business today and the stock price would have to jump up by 2x, 3x, right? Because you would get all of the stocks and bonds in that portfolio back to you. Like the portfolio is worth more than the whole company. You get the company for free. It's a steal. I've been investing for most of my life, and I have yet to see something that's like this tantalizingly good. Don't do anything, Bobbie.
I won't. I've been experimenting with crypto, and last couple of years I've been riding the swing, like with Bitcoin, and now I'm like, when Bitcoin went up to 46, and I was like, why did I sell before? Because I could have just, like, I was riding the wave, and then I got tired of watching it every day. But I'm on Dogecoin, by the way. It's a meme coin, but it's so much fun to watch on Twitter. So much fun to watch on Twitter. All the nonsense with Elon Musk, and please go buy more Dogecoin because I kind of want to sell.
Well, I was too nervous to get in. Like I could have got it when I first started hearing about Bitcoin. It was like, in the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're like Bitcoin billionaires, and it's like, oh, maybe I should have. It just seemed like so, I don't know, wishy-washy. But congratulations, like you must have done pretty well so far.
No, I sold all my Bitcoin before it went up. That's the sad part.
Oh,
yeah, I sold mine when they were $700.
Yeah, I stopped. I think it went up to 1,400 and I cashed out. But I'm re-entering it, the Dogecoin. That's sad, but it's fun. It's like my Vegas, right? I think I posted that on Twitter. So, okay, I'll wrap up our happy stories, and it's as much as I love the investment world, I'll share like a fitness. And this is I want to do a shout out to Nick. So Nick does these ruckus things. He walks and has these meetings, and I kind of like, so how do you do that? But yesterday I took an opportunity. It was like 60-degree weather in North Carolina. There was a call that I was just going to listen in. I did my call, and I went for a good 1.5 mile walk, and it felt so good. So I'm going to do that. I'm following Nick Lamparelli's advice. Founders, don't get stuck in your office, right? Yep. It's so easy to do that. Go for a walk, even if it's around your house or around your apartment or whatever.
Get out.
Push.
Get away from that desk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your mental health matters too.
So thank you, Nick. Thank you. That was, I wanted to try it, but just finally yesterday got the guts to be like, I think I'll be okay. It'll be okay. And I did it and it was okay.
So
I
a
didn't
handful-
miss out.
A handful of times, Bobbie, I will be out and someone will say, "Hey Nick, can you see my screen?" And I'll be like, "No, do I need to?" And if they say yes, I'll just turn around and walk back home, but a lot of times they're like, "No, not really." Okay, I'm just gonna keep walking then.
Yeah.
Okay, I should try that then.
Yeah. It's so what I did was I always have my phone on me. So this is how much I wanted to make sure I was available and seeing everything. I was walking with the screen like this to make sure I was seeing everything, but I was able to walk. I was able to do that. I probably couldn't have done that with like a 45-pound thing, but just for a regular baby steps. I'm doing a baby step.
Well, if I know I still have to talk, I might wear my 25-pound rucksack so I'm not breathing as heavy.
But yeah, that was awesome. That was so invigorating to do that. So invigorating. And that's gonna become like my habit.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad.
Yeah, I mean, the weather here is always so good, so I have
No excuse, Sid.
I have no excuses.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Where are you at, Sid?
And in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
jealous.
yeah,
I mean-
like yesterday it was a nice 71 degrees.
Yeah. So I'm in Florida. So it's I started doing this last summer. That was the first thing I started to do. And it's really hot, and I would get sweaty, but it's like, okay, I'm pushing away from my desk. I'm getting outside. I felt better. It's a lot easier now when it is 70. But Bobbie, North Carolina, it's starting to get into your weather where it's just going to be absolutely perfect for you to be able to do this.
Yeah. Well, team, this wraps up our Happy Friday story. Sid, thank you so much for joining us. Guys,
Thanks, Sid.
Thanks for having me.
if you want to check out Zeguro, one of my favorite companies, I love them. I found them in 2018 and I've been very happy since. We've been very happy since. So, So appreciate the partnership, Sid, with you and your team.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sid.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having me
everyone.
here.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Brent. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy
Friday.
Friday.
Happy weekend.